To become an individual for yourself means that your personal character is somewhat absolute, in a complete alignment with yourself, and is in its very moment coming to a realization in the practical life. You become not the truth for yourself, but the living example of it, and all you have to do is to be yourself, and to be yourself in its expression of it. Who are you going to represent, and which kind of individual are you then going to be? Well, yourself, right? There will come a truth after all the thinking that can only be expressed as an expressing of your own individual character in practical matters. You have to not tell the truth by words, but become within yourself in its expression of it, the very truth yourself, the highest form of truth, to be what you are to be in the Spirit of God, in its absolute alignment with the eternity values. Let's imagine this individual that is reaching out to the few by putting up papers in his theologian faculty to make a distinction between the theologian and the priest, to fight for the priest. How would people react to this? Most people would ignore it, others would find it funny, and it would help them to exist by having something to talk about. And the few, maybe only one, would ignore it, only to be drawn by it, to never completely let go of it until they have read it. But would this serve the truth as an example of it? Yes, it would, for faith and love and the eternity value in its moment of it. But what about the priest? How would this individual providing this truth a fight for the priest, expressing the truth in its absolute alignment with it, only by putting up these papers for the few to find? How would this serve the truth as an example of it? It would not. In its absolute alignment with it, this truth would have to be preaching to the many by the very personal character of the priest within itself, within the truth, within the individual providing it. And what would this mean for part of Evil 3, evil out of nothing, this individual in its most absolute relationship with themselves and therefore the truth? We must therefore assume this individual to have overcome these parts of evil out of nothing by an understanding of it until now. Now evil out of nothing will try to self-tower you in practical matters. And what does this mean? It means that now that you have become a preacher of yourself, a walking truth, this must be stopped. And evil out of nothing is now targeting this very living example of truth, but now in practical matters, because this is what you now have become. So there you are, a walking truth, but is this really who you are? Because suddenly there is many like yourself. Were you the original source of yourself? And how come all of these other people suddenly look and sound like you? I thought you were in a faithful relationship with God out of love. But how come there now seem no difference between you and others, and so on? All of these prophets for themselves, but who is the real deal? There you were, but that is seemingly someone else, pretending to be like you think, and they probably think this as well of you. So how come you are both acting to be when you don't even know each other? So what made you to be this way? What shaped you into this being? And how come you are both not pretending to be one of each other, but still act the same? Is this still who you truly are then? How come this individual is imitating my personal character, making fun of it, making it look like something that it is not? Now I feel little of myself and I am not confident within myself anymore. Now my personal character became a concept of the mechanic thinking categories, patterns, rather than a lived reality. Within myself, a faithful relationship with God out of love. Is this still who you truly want to be then? Being yourself is going to hurt when what you don't consider being part of you are pretending to be yourself for this very reason, that you are the opposite good of the evil that they are, because they are not themselves, but are seeking the good, which in this case is you, your personal character, which they think is their way out of it, not by searching for themselves, but to understand how to pretend to be something that they are not, by destroying the good within yourself, because you are being yourself, which seems as it were something good within its concept of it. But you are just being yourself, and from that arrives your happiness, not from being a concept of something that you are not. Being yourself is going to hurt, because now someone that you don't want to take part within your personal character is feeling good of you, but only in its concept of it, making you look like exactly what you didn't want to take part within your personal character, and it hurts. So what are you going to do? Are you going to change who you are, but then you're just going to change within yourself into something else good, eventually as a concept of it? So what are you going to do? Someone evil is feeling good of you, looking closely as a wolf within a sheep. So what are you going to do? Someone evil is trying to destroy your personal character by looking as a good concept of you, acting within their soul exactly what you didn't want to take part of your personal character, changing the ideas of who you are by pretending to be what they are not, only in its good concept of it. So what are you going to do? And you are almost crying because as an individual of yourself, this is going to hurt a lot. So what are you going to do? You can try to destroy your personal character, but the concept of good which you provided is still going to be there. So this will only hurt yourself even more. But what is the one thing that they can't take from you completely? Forget the concept of good, because they were seeking the good which came from your personal character, and not the concept of good which they are now pretending to be, but are not, only a wolf within a sheep. And this will be for God to distinguish between, and individuals like yourself are going to make within their faith and love this distinguish as well. So you don't have to worry. And yes, I understand. It is all about your personal character within. This will bring its fortune with it. So now what you can do if your personal character is somewhat true to yourself as a preaching absolute eternity individual is to change the concept of good completely. If they are feeling good of you in its concept of it, only to pretend to be, because as a personal character within, they can be. Why not make the concept of good for them look silly? The good is within you, in your personal character, not in the concept of good, which they are pretending to be, because they are not. Why not make them look silly? Dare to change the concept of good, dare to make them look silly. If you have become yourself within yourself, your personal character, they will copy your style, but this style do not matter to you, right? So dare to make them copy your style and look silly. The more silly they become in the concept of good, the more you change the values of life, because they are not alike what is within you. Tell me more, are you saying in excitement? There is no real answer to this, only the understanding of it. Yes, exactly, because the answers will be within the very example of truth, this individual that are providing it by being themselves. Wait, I do not understand, are you now shouting to me? I am a individual myself, but I am now distracted and confused about myself, because since everyone else became like myself, I think now that I am someone else than myself. I am doubting myself, and it hurts. You need to help me. Aren't you a individual yourself? I was scared to show myself the good within me, but I found courage within your videos, within you, and now all I have left is nothing. They took it all. The mechanics. I was something, now I'm not. You need to help me, and I will help you, and I did help you, right? There will be another video I will live on for a little bit, right? How would I be able to give you an answer to this now? I'm still in time being a living example of the truth, right? And if I'm being a living example of the truth like yourself, why would I need an answer? If you are being truly who you are to be, you are not fully aware of yourself. You are not pretending to be anything. You don't ask anymore who you are. You are just yourself to be. The day you ask for yourself is the day you ask if you are not. Will you find yourself? Will it be worth the trouble? Will you one day stop asking and just be? You will be walking like a blind man, only to be sure about yourself. There's no expectations to how they are going to treat you, because you don't act to be or to look anything as a concept of good, only with faith and love within, walking in the blind with your faith and love in the eternity.